You know, even through all the hard times that are going on right now, through all the struggles that we have in our day-to-day lives, the hard relationships, the hard financial times, can I tell you that you can be excited right now? Can I tell you that you should be excited right now? Because God has given us everything we need to live the life that He wants us to lead. Now, note what I said. I said the life that He wants us to lead, not the life that we necessarily want. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you that a life led under God's will leads to so much happiness and so much fulfillment that you can't find in things. You can't find in fancy houses or nice cars or good-looking women or whatever it is. You won't find it in the things. You'll find it in your purpose and doing God's will for your life, because we were made to be tools for that will. We were made to be tools along the way for someone else's journey, to impact other people. Our life is not our own. Our life is for God's will. So if you are struggling to find happiness right now, it might be because you're not living in God's will. You're not impacting other people. You're living for yourself. You're living for the things that you want to get out of life, instead of what God needs to get out of you. Too many times I've done it the wrong way. Too many times I've lived life with my own material objectives in mind. I've lived for money. I've lived for things, for nice cars or clothes, or I want a big house and I want this for my family or that for my family. And I was miserable because I was a slave to money. You know, when I didn't have money anymore, when I didn't know how we were going to pay the bills, when I didn't know how we were going to survive, I didn't know where the money was going to come from, all of a sudden I had to put my reliance in something else. I had to put my faith in something else instead of putting it in the job that I had and that job that was providing for me. So I thought I had to understand, once I saw that my bills were still getting paid, that the doors were opening so that I could still make the ends meet. When I realized that it wasn't the job, it wasn't the company that was providing for me, it was for something else, man, that's when it all changed. That's when I really understood the idea that we have this ultimate provider looking out for us. This idea that we are not living for ourselves. And when I made that connection, when I realized what was happening, amazing things started happening. Now, I'll tell you that God's plan for your life doesn't look like $1 million. If it does, congrats, that's great. But you need to be a good steward of that. For me, God's plan right now does not look like $1 million. It doesn't look like $100,000. I'll tell you that. But the bills are getting paid when they shouldn't get paid. Things are happening when it doesn't seem possible. We see the gap in the budget, and the gap is filled every month. Different avenues through doors that God has opened years ago, but the opportunity is coming now when we need it. And when you see things like that happen, you understand that there's peace. You understand that you can rely on God to cover you, because God's going to take care of those that are being good stewards of what He's given you, and He's going to cover those that are doing His will and living the purpose that He has for your life. You know, my goal right now is to not make a bunch of money. My goal right now is to impact other people and to hopefully tell my story enough times in enough ways that one person understands that there's a better life out there for you, that there is hope outside of the environment that you're in, that there is something better, but you just have to have faith. You have to jump. You gotta leave. You have to do whatever you feel pulled and called to do, whether you think it's God, whether you think it's your conscious, whatever, but you have a feeling right now. You have something right now that's telling you, hey man, this isn't all that you're supposed to do. This isn't it. This isn't the only thing that you can do. You can do more. I believe in you. I love you. And that's what I want to tell you today, that man, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're going through, but understand that I believe in you because God made you. I believe that there's more for you in your life than you think possible right now because God put it inside of you already. God's given you all the tools, all the resources, all the people. You might not know them right now, but they are in your path. They are in the journey. You just have to take the first step. If you can take that first step, you will be amazed at how easily the next step comes. You will be amazed at how easy this journey will come, even though there will be times when it feels so hard. You'll begin to understand, you'll begin to see that, man, there are things happening that just shouldn't be happening. There are things going on in my life that shouldn't be as easy as they are. It was way too easy to get a meeting with that guy. It was way too easy to make my first couple sales in my new business, or whatever it was, whatever it's going to be. You have to understand that you can be excited no matter your situation. I understand there's abuse. I understand that there's loss. I understand that there are hard times. And can I tell you that I've been through hard times? I've been abused as a child. I grew up dirt poor with a mother trying to get rich quick schemes because she wanted to live outside of our means, and she was narcissistic and just crazy. I can tell you what it's like to work 100 hours plus a week trying to provide for a wife and a kid when the rent is just continuously raising. I can tell you what it's like to fall asleep on the highway at 3:30 in the morning because you're so dang tired because you've been awake for 4 days just trying to work, just trying to pay bills. I can tell you what it's like to lose. But can I tell you that I win when I put my faith in something bigger than myself? Because I'm going to tell you that you can't do it all on your own. All these people that want to say they're self-made, it's temporary. I'm telling you right now, it is temporary. You have to understand that there is something bigger. There's something bigger. And when you let God do what God does, when you let Him have control and you put your faith in His ability, He will not disappoint. I'll tell you right now, He will not disappoint. You got to take the first step. Put your faith in Him and take the first step. You might not know what that first step is, and all I ask you is to close your eyes, open your heart, and ask. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. All I ask is for you to close your eyes, open your heart, and say, what am I supposed to do? And listen. Something's going to come in. Something's going to come into your head. Maybe it's you need to call someone that you haven't talked to in a long time. Maybe it's you need to fire that employee that you've been holding on to, hoping that they would change so you wouldn't have to confront them. Maybe it's mending a relationship with a family member. Maybe it's forgiving. Maybe it's having a hard talk. Maybe it's quitting your job. Maybe it's going to church. Maybe it's picking up a book. I don't know. I don't know what it is for you. But I know that you can only get answers to questions you ask. So ask. If you do nothing else today, ask.